Welcome to Gutter Trash episode 227 of the Hypo by Noah Van Skyver. My name is Eric.
And I'm Jason.
Howdy.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing, princess?
You do call me princess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good.
That's good.
How about you?
Fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. How's your day been? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. Couldn't be much worse than your average Joe, I'm sure.
Did you have a bad day?
No, I had a good day.
Okay.
I had a good day. Yeah. But I'm not
Joe
your
have a
average
bad
Joe.
day?
Joe? I haven't talked to Joe yet today.
Neither have I.
Yeah, I usually only see him
Good reason.
on Tuesdays. That's the only time I see Joe anymore. Oh, there's a good reason? You and Joe on the outs.
We're on the outs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's...
The Hypo!
Yeah, that was us talking about the hypo. Tune in next week when we talk about whatever we're not going to talk about. No, the hypo, yeah. By Noah Van Skyver.
Yeah. Or Van Skyver. I don't know.
I always thought it was Skyver.
I always thought it was Skyver too, but now that I'm thinking of it, there was a character in the Blade television program named Van Skyver,
Oh,
and he was, of course, named after the Van Skyver family, which has spawned two comic creators out of it.
oh yeah.
Yeah, Noah and his brother Ethan.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Huh. Well, maybe that's the fictional version.
It could be.
You know.
I mean, honestly, it's just better if everybody ignores anything associated with the Blade television program.
Right.
It's honestly the best for humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a current show?
No.
Yeah. Okay. I've never seen it.
Good.
Yeah. See, I've been ignoring it as per your instructions.
Yes. You, if you're ever at somebody's house and they say, "Hey, you want to watch an episode of the Blade program?" You stab them in the head.
You find a parent or a teacher and tell them what's happening.
Or just stab them in the head.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Preferably that. But should you not find anything strong enough and sharp enough to stab that person in the head, then yes, tell your nearest teacher or parents
All right.
about the bad man who touched you in the bad place,
Right.
called Blade, the TV show.
I will avoid it.
Good. I will tell you the only worthwhile thing about the pilot episode is that it's one of Randy Quaid's last roles before going completely
Oh
insane.
yeah, didn't he like abscond to Canada or something
Something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's wanted by police. And
for tax authorities?
they're something like he trashed a hotel room and then skipped out on the bill, him and his wife. And they're just bug fucking insane now.
Wow.
That there's like some sort of conspiracy against celebrities.
Hmm.
And that they're going to die if they, I don't know,
Wow.
do something.
Maybe he got a hold of some bad weed.
Yeah. Or maybe he just realized that he was in the pilot for the Blade TV show.
And that he should worry for his future.
Exactly,
Right, okay. Well, that's unsettling.
'Cause, nobody else from that has gone on to do anything worthwhile. It's terrible what I'm saying. But there's a character named Van Skyver in it. And I believe it's pronounced Van Skyver.
Okay. Well, we'll find out someday.
And we'll continuously call it one or the other, Van Skyver or Van Skyver, throughout the course of this episode.
How would I call it Van Skyver? That way people know which one of us is making which comment, and you call him Van Skyver. And...
but I'm probably going to call him Van Skyver too.
Okay.
Because it's drilled into my head to be pronounced that way.
All right. Well, we can all
I'm
agree.
just saying that there's a possibility we are pronouncing it wrong.
Well, I apologize to Mr. Van Sciver or Cyver,
Right.
whichever way we're mispronouncing it.
Yes. I figured you'd be on board with this conversation, considering that you spent like 35 minutes talking about
Stuart Imanen's heritage.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you're right. It's I've never actually heard it pronounced other than by, at the store or whatever.
But they're only talking about Ethan.
They're talking about Ethan, right? Because our store, unfortunately, can't sell a third copy of Acme Novelty Library. It sells one to me and my brother, but that's the kind of store I work at, where people buy 10 years worth of X-Men comics they hate because 10 years ago they liked it, and what if suddenly it becomes good,
right?
And they don't want that gap in their collection. That's the kind of store I work at.
Well, that 10 years is gonna pay off at some point.
Oh,
right?
yeah, they're gonna be rich and famous, and people are gonna.
Oh, I didn't mean that.
Well, their comics will be worth so much money, and they'll be rich.
Yeah, I didn't mean that.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about like a satisfying payoff. Like you're struggling through these 10 years of terrible X-Men comics, and then suddenly one day, like, all of those plot lines will make sense.
Right. There's going to be written by Alan Moore that'll tie it all together.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
I got you.
Because as we know, comics aren't going to be worth anything.
Oh, no, of course not. Well, it's all going digital now, so no one wants these paper things anymore.
They still do.
People do?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, if even I've read a digital comic, then that's saying the medium is shifting.
Right. I'm sure there will be some that are digital only, and I'm sure there'll be people who wholeheartedly adapt to the format. I think paper's staying around for a while.
I hope so. I love the paper.
I get the paper anymore now because it is still cheaper than anything else.
Really?
Yeah. Because the digital books, for the most part, like Marvel and DC, cover price.
Mm-hmm. And they do some that are $1 off or something?
If you wait a month, they go down $1.
Yeah.
But even then, with the discount that I get from ordering,
right, it's still cheaper. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I mean, it keeps more people in jobs. I'm sure with all the you get your stapler, you get your the guy that drives the truck full of X-Men comics.
Right. I don't know what you care. You're about to run screaming from the comic industry.
I'm getting out of there
now.
Yeah, I'm getting out of there. Well, that's because I'm just afraid it's all going digital. I'm gonna go invest in iPads and be an iPad salesman on the corner. I'll be down there in First and Ludlow.
You should get a job at the Genius Bar.
What's that?
It's the people who the help desk at Apple stores.
Okay. Oh, that sounds like me all over. I can barely.
You use a Mac?
Yeah, I sure do. It's true. I mean, not in the last 6 months, but there's one rotting in my living room right now.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's not your fault.
Yeah, I feel like it is.
No.
I'm supposed to be the one helping you trying to get that back up and running.
Yeah. I've since I don't have my computer working, I've done a lot more other things. Like I've been reading and walking around outside, and it's so weird.
Yeah, but you're supposed to be making art and letting the world see it.
I've been filling up sketchbooks.
Yeah.
Paper sketchbooks.
But how is anybody supposed to know that?
Well, once I'm dead, they'll cull through my belongings and figure out that I didn't waste all of my time, just most of it. And my mom will be so proud.
All right. So what you're saying is I should kill you?
Yeah, just to make my mom happy before she dies.
Right. Can do.
Sweet. The Hypo. By Noah Van Sciver.
Or Cyber.
It's a story about a famous man.
Yeah. David Lee Roth. And his struggle between alcoholism and heroin.
And
that's what's called the Hypo.
Right, yeah.
Hypodermic needle.
No, it's a young Abe Lincoln. The melancholic young Abe Lincoln.
Yes. So I was disappointed that this didn't touch on any part of him being a vampire hunter.
Right, yeah.
And as we know, the Van Civers have a connection to bears.
Oh, yeah. Blade, yeah. I've heard about that. I heard that's a great show, by the way.
It's one of the best.
Yeah.
It's a shame it got canceled. So, no slight to Noah Van Sciver or Sciver.
Let's call him Noah from now on.
No slight to NVS.
Yeah, there you go.
There's a lot of stuff about Lincoln out this year.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if that's a good thing for this book, like as far as attention goes. You know, like this Spielberg movie. Like people are like, yeah, that guy, he's on the $5 bill. Yeah, I know who that is. I want to read about him.
Is he?
He's on the penny and the $5 bill.
I know about the penny.
And he's
because I've seen those.
He's on your fanny pack. You've got that Lincoln fanny pack.
I do have that Lincoln fanny pack.
Yeah.
I also drive a Lincoln Continental.
Yeah, that is weird.
But I haven't seen a $5 bill in ages.
Yeah. Is it that you only see bigger or smaller?
Smaller.
Yeah.
Like I said, I know he's on the penny.
Right.
I know he is on the penny.
That's your monetary currency of choice.
Yes.
You always roll with the penny. You're like Batman. You get that giant penny.
I do. So yeah, I don't know. It's like there's this weird Lincoln zeitgeist that's happening. That
oh wow,
should we be tapping into that ourselves?
Maybe he's going to be the new zombie. Like all the Walking Dead and all that stuff will go away, and everything will be about Lincoln.
Huh? Yeah, maybe.
That'd be great. $5 bills are now worth $6 because there's a shortage of them.
I mean, I know that there's also a mockbuster version of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Oh, yeah.
Abraham Lincoln versus Zombies.
What's a mockbuster?
It is, mostly there's a company called Asylum Studios. They produce movies that are basically supposed to make you think of a huge major motion picture.
I gotcha.
But it's not.
Okay.
Like Transmorphers.
Okay, yeah, I've been in like Blockbuster Video, and I'll see movies like, oh wow, that's out already? And then like I'll pick it, I'll look at it, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what those are.
Yeah, that's for people who won't actually stop and pick up that box and read it. Those people will just think, oh, that thing's out already.
Or they get so excited they just grab the thing behind it and run up to the counter.
Yep.
Okay.
And they get home and say, wait, that's not Will Smith.
Those bastards. I mean, that's brilliant. And,
yeah.
You know, I guess good for them, but how evil is that? It's pretty bad.
They're relatively unapologetic about it.
Do you think someone might accidentally pick up the Hypo thinking it's Spielberg's Lincoln starring Daniel Day-Lewis?
They might.
People are almost that intelligent sometimes.
Except I think the one thing thrown on them is that this version of Lincoln does not have that beard.
No, he does not.
It does not talk like Bane.
Yeah, this is before Lincoln had the beard or the Bane mask.
Right.
That he's so famous. Yeah, this is he starts out when he's in his 20s, and it just kind of goes through his early 30s. So it's like I guess
span of like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. And it says young Lincoln, but I mean, wasn't that like middle age back then? Probably.
I have no idea.
I mean, people didn't really live to be 90.
It's hard to say. Well, I mean, technically it was middle age for him.
Right.
Because he died 25 years
Well,
later.
yeah, he lived to be decently old for the time period, probably. I mean, I don't know. 1840s? When was that? 1850s, 60s? I don't know.
It was the 1840s. I don't know what you're asking.
Yeah, I mean, I think lifespans were. I mean, none of that's not a terrible long time ago, but I mean, I feel like the lifespan was probably a lot shorter.
Yeah, probably.
150, 200 years ago.
I wouldn't say it's that exaggerated.
Right.
I'd say people lived to their maybe exceptionally long to their 80s.
Yeah, well, good for those people. If they ate right.
People still die in their 50s and 60s all the time here.
Yeah, that's true.
In the here and now. I'll be one of them.
Oh, hope not.
Probably my 40s.
Oh.
Most likely my 30s.
Oh, well, that's too bad.
Unhealthy and sad.
Oh,
much like a Lincoln.
Yeah. Isn't he relatable? Like seriously?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't exactly read biographies on Lincoln, but I I didn't think that I would find him as relatable and human a figure because he's so larger than life, you know? Like,
Right.
ever since you're a child, I mean,
Right.
he's almost like a superhero since you're a kid, you know?
Right.
But, yeah, he's very, relatable and human in this version.
Yeah. See, I can't really disagree with you about the whole relatability thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's pretty relatable.
He's kind of a likable fellow in this book.
That I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, just not likable.
Well, I know me,
Right.
and he's a lot like me in this, and I'm not a likable fella. And so by that math, neither is Lincoln.
But I always found you really likable when you were with the Whig Party and you got your Republicans to rally behind you and build some railways and levees and whatnot. I always thought you did great.
But what about when I bankrupt Illinois?
Oh, that was unfortunate. But when you were badass enough to institute broadswords into your duel, that was awesome.
Spoiler.
Oh yeah. Sorry. How cool was that?
That was very cool.
There's a duel in the book that Lincoln takes part in, and apparently duels were illegal. They mentioned back then.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought that was like
Accepted.
accepted.
I'm sure at some point it was accepted, but as time went on, it became unacceptable.
Right.
I
Yeah.
guess. I don't know. I don't.
I-
The only thing I know about duels is that movie we watched once.
that was a good movie.
It was.
The Duelists.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, in this one, Lincoln, is challenged to a duel, by an auditor. What was his name? Shields. Lincoln had written some letters under a pen name,
Right.
sort of like, just trying to attacking the guy's politics, but he also like besmirched his, public image
And his manhood.
and his manhood. So
Because that's what you do.
yeah. So when he found out that Rebecca was actually Lincoln, he challenged him to a duel, and I guess as the challengee, you get to pick the terms of the duel.
Right.
So Lincoln chose broadsword since his arms are like 14 feet long, and scared the shit out of everybody by hacking up the entire surrounding forest in preparation for the duel, which I thought was a great scene. That was really fun.
I think I remember a movie or a show once where like two guys were about to fight, but then the one guy who was like the challengee, sort of like just started running around just being nuts,
Right.
and really freaked out the tough guys who were gonna take him down,
Right.
and then they kind of ran away because the guy was just insane. That reminded me of
Maybe Lincoln had seen that program, and that's where he got the
Right,
idea. Yeah.
may have been like something with a Mel Gibson or a Bruce Willis. I don't know, but
Okay.
I know Lincoln's a big fan of those two guys.
Oh yeah. Yeah. or at least older Mel Gibson.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, of course.
Right.
Right.
Back when he was awesome. But yeah, there's a lot of just like interesting little scenes about Lincoln like that make him like we said, he's relatable and likable because he's depressed and he has these. He's not just like the superhero who's always
Right.
amazing. There's scenes of him vomiting on himself and
Right.
all these not so polished moments.
Right.
But it's cool to see the funny stuff and the weird stuff that kind of flesh out the entire character of this guy that we all always just think of as this amazing
Stoic.
saint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can only assume that this is all true stuff.
I would imagine so. I know. I read that he did research for it.
Yeah.
I assume it was not just a Wikipedia page or something.
Right.
but,
Right.
But yeah, I know. Where was it? I know the prostitute incident is based on an actual story, because I had heard of that before.
Right.
That's something we could talk about. That's a really interesting scene. Lincoln's roommate, I guess you would call him.
His bed buddy.
Yeah. His bed buddy, Josh Speed, which sounds like a superhero, but not as much as his other friend, John Stewart. That sounds a little more like a superhero. Yeah, he rents a room from a guy named Josh Speed, and they end up just sleeping on the same bed.
Yeah.
Because, why not?
Yeah, two dudes.
Yeah.
Two dudes who... Alright, let me get into a negative aspect of this book.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's safe to say that I enjoyed this book.
Mm-hmm.
But I had somewhat of a problem with the art in places, in which sometimes I couldn't tell which characters were which.
I had that once or twice.
Especially the scenes between Lincoln and Speed.
Yeah.
I would... it really took me out of the story because I would then have to, hunt in the panels to see who had the mole.
Oh, okay.
To figure out who was speaking.
Okay, so you, instead of just reading the dialogue and peripherally glance at the art, you'd have to,
figure out who was talking. Yeah.
I never had problems.
Unless they, addressed each other by name.
Right. I had a similar thing, but not with Lincoln so much as, I confused Speed and Stewart a couple times.
I also did that
because they're real similar, but
right.
I think he had one of them in suspenders. But I mean, they're just two dark-haired white folk with no beards or facial hair.
And Lincoln also.
Yeah.
And sometimes the only way to tell which one was Lincoln was because he's got the
mole,
pronounced mole on his cheek. Right.
And he's 87 feet tall.
Real, yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't really do a good job of entirely conveying the height difference between him and everyone else either. Him and Mary.
Right. There's
obviously.
I think there's a few scenes, but I mean, there's probably. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe those other guys were tall too. But,
who knows?
But
I'm just saying that's a thing that kept pulling me out of completely enjoying the book. Straight through. It was that I would have to occasionally stop and try to figure out
who was
actually speaking.
I wonder if that's as much his fault as it is those guys all just kind of looked alike. But I mean, if that did happen, you could maybe take a little artistic license and maybe,
right, yeah.
I don't know, give one an antler or something, I mean, not an antler, but,
I know what you mean. But
just
and his style is such that, it is very cartoony.
Mm-hmm.
But, he does at the same time, it's like that almost Jeffrey Brown style of cartoony,
mm-hmm.
where it's all very...
There's a lot of shading and dirtiness to it.
Yeah, and realist, like a cartoony realism.
Yeah.
So, the characters aren't exaggerated. They're just...
Right.
Presented as they are, but in a cartoon type style.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so, I don't know, maybe I could have used a little more of the exaggeration.
I gotcha. Just to differentiate.
Right.
I do love, I've said it on here 1,000 times, that is my absolute favorite combination of artistic styles for a comic is super cartoony and then super dirty and detailed.
Right.
I would even put Frank Quietly in the same category. Oh, yeah. Jeffrey Brown, Noah, and all these guys. I love that style, and that's sort of what I am trying to emulate in my own stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it can be problematic at times, especially when you're dealing with characters who are real similar.
Right.
At least Lincoln does have the mole. And,
yeah.
But yeah, I know what you mean.
Midway through the book, when he is abandoned by both Josh Speed and Jonathan Stewart, I kind of, even though it's a bad thing for Lincoln, I was like, well, good, at least I don't have to get confused anymore.
Right.
And now I can fully feel for the abandonment that Lincoln feels.
Well, if you notice, John Stewart was probably wearing his power ring through the entire
that's true,
thing.
right,
If you paid close attention.
I think we may be talking about the wrong Van Sciver now.
Oh, yeah.
Van Sciver's the one that worked with Jeff Johns to Green Lantern Rebirth.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Do you think he hates that?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. I can only imagine
I'm sorry.
What?
To Noah Van Cyber. I am sorry.
Right. I mean, yeah, like, personally...
I think it's funny.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry that, yeah.
And I have nothing against Ethan Van Sciver's art.
Right.
But it is not my style at all. Like,
Right.
like it does not attract me to books. Yet, Noah's does, because like I said, I love cartoony...
Right. He's definitely, the type of, he makes the type of comics that you enjoy anyway.
Right.
And then the art on top of it.
Yeah, like I'm attracted to that whole style. But it's weird to me that, like, I would never look at Ethan's art and be like, oh, this is fucking terrible, I can't believe people buy it. But at the same time, I'm like, it bugs me that stuff like this, like the Hypo, like, we ordered 2 copies at my work.
Right.
Because I knew I wanted one.
Right.
And the other one has just been rotting on the shelf there.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, yeah, I'm sure that does bug him. When you see, his brother's books, at least at stores like mine.
Right.
Like, I'm sure, like, at the Beguiling and the
sure.
really nice stores, I'm sure it's the flip-flop, but,
Right.
or even more even.
Right. Because, I mean, I don't think it's fair to Ethan Van Sciver either to...
It's not his fault.
To bitch about, the fact that his
Right.
Flash or Green Lantern comics sell and,
and
whatever he's
and he
doing
seems
now.
like a good guy. Like there was a strip Noah did years ago where it was Ethan and Noah at a comic convention, and
Right.
and Noah was like hanging out with him, like doing sketches and stuff, and Ethan was like, "Yeah, this is my brother. He does comics too. Buy his book." And I mean, yeah, he seems cool, and
Right.
but it must be frustrating on some level to be doing the same thing as your older brother,
Right.
and
What we're saying is that one of you two,
needs to stop.
right? Yeah. Go get that job in accounting that your mom really wanted you.
Oh.
That's unfair.
If I had to pick, I would hope that Ethan gets the comic job.
And I don't actually have a problem with Ethan Van Sciver's art.
He's technically a really talented
Oh
artist.
yeah,
It's just not something that I enjoy.
yeah. And, I mean, he's very good at what he does, but the kind of stuff that he does is also the kind of stuff I tend to avoid.
Right.
Because I mean, it's obvious that I enjoy a superhero comic a lot more than you do. But at the same time, like, when I see, someone like Noah Van Sciver drawing a superhero comic, I get super excited.
Oh, yeah.
And yes!
Right.
Because I love that sort of juxtaposition of, like, that type of style with that type of story.
The expectation of what it would look like to open a superhero comic.
Right, yeah.
Versus, yeah.
But obviously, I am like one of maybe 4 people that feel that way.
Right. At least that our backwater hick town.
I'm pretty sure that just industry-wide, I am pretty sure I am like one of 5 people that have, that type of, a love for like a super cartoony, art style, like with a superhero comic.
Yeah.
But
Like Paul Grist.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's one of your favorites.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, Ethan Van Sciver's good. I've read some books by him, and they've all been fine. He did some fill-in issues on New X-Men when Grant Morrison was writing.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And he's even got like an indie background himself with Cyberfrog.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was him?
Yeah.
I remember Cyberfrog.
And I read some of those, and they were all good and fun. And but like as far as like his Green Lantern or Flash things, also 2 characters I don't much care about.
Right.
But also, just that type of superhero story and that type of superhero style is something that I tend to stick away from. As it's got to be exceptionally great for me to say, okay,
Right.
let's do this. But anyway,
yeah. No, I mean, yeah. It's interesting that these 2 dudes are both in the same field, but on opposite ends of the spectrum here. It's pretty cool.
I will say that there's been a long-rumored Ethan Van Sciver Plastic Man book.
Oh, wow.
If that ever happens, I'm on board.
Yeah. I know you like the Plastic Man.
Yeah. So, I would definitely like to see that.
I would like to see a Noah Van Sciver Plastic Man.
I would like to see Noah Van Sciver Superman.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my go-to for all the time.
Right.
Like even a couple weeks ago when I was hanging out with our pal Kurt Dins, I kept saying how much I would like to see him draw a Superman, just because
Kurt do a Superman.
you know, it's just that weird style of his, and then just like it almost seems inappropriate for him to be that character.
Like, yeah, like Robert Crumb drawing Superman.
Right,
You
yeah.
just know it's going to go bad places.
Right, yeah. And it was like, I want to go to those bad places.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, speaking of going to bad places, we were talking about
prostitution.
Lincoln going to a prostitute.
This all of a sudden turned into a Chester Brown book.
Yeah. It was really awesome, though, that, like, you know, Lincoln is put in this situation, and you're like, oh my god, is he really gonna pay for sex here?
Right.
And, like, you know, then it ends up, he's in the bed with the prostitute, she's taking her clothes off, she's on top of him, and, something happens where they don't end up, or I guess we could spoil the scene.
Well, yeah.
He doesn't end up sleeping with a prostitute, but not because, like, his morals for, you know, what the action he's about to do. It's because he realizes she's a little more expensive than what he has on him. And even though she says he can owe her,
right,
he's so freaked out with all the debt that he already has that he's like, I can't take on any more debt. And he's like, I'm out of here.
I think there was a little bit of the moral thing, too.
Yeah.
Because even as he was going to the brothel, like, you know, he just was like, freaking out.
Oh, yeah. He's like, everybody knows what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly.
They can smell it on me.
And they could have had he gone through it.
Yeah, probably. There was no Febreze in those days.
And, you know, not... Well, to totally turn this towards me again, you know, it wasn't, like, 4 weeks ago that, like, I was trying to go through my budgets and all the debt and the financial mess that I am in, where I also just had a massive fucking freak out.
Oh, yeah.
And was just fucking bummed for days.
Right.
You know, so once again, me and young Lincoln.
Yeah. Relatable, yeah.
The only difference is that Lincoln eventually became president and freed the slaves, and I will die alone in 5 years.
Oh. Well, maybe you'll get shot in the back of the head.
Oh, that would be great. Spoiler, by the way.
That's actually not in this book.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Spoiler for the Steven Spielberg movie.
You know what's funny is I actually tried watching the movie Lincoln just this past week because out of the blue, one of my friends loaned it to me. Like, it wasn't like planned because we were reading this book.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that's weird. And I tried to watch it and I fell asleep after like the first half an hour. I'm going to give it another shot, but
yeah, like 3 hours long.
I think so. Yeah. Like it was a little dry.
Right. It's pretty much just all about policy and you know, legislation, isn't it?
Yeah. And you know, and like a strict, like costuming kind of thing. Like it's all about the visuals too, I'm sure.
And Daniel Day-Lewis.
He's great, but, I don't know. That's why I like the Hypo is, it's so much more my version of that story. Like, I'm so not into the politics, and I was worried because Noah Van Sciver, everything I've read by him before has been just kind of weird and funny, and like, then there was a couple like slice of life things, and then he did one other like historical, I guess you would call it historical fiction, because, you know, I mean, there's dialogue and things you don't really know, but I mean, it's based on actual events and facts. It was like the death of Elijah Lovejoy or something. I forget what it was called. But it was just a mini comic. It was real short, and like, you know, then it kind of led him to this, and I was kind of worried that this might be, you know, it might have went to the next level and been really political and like just in an area that I just couldn't
have an interest in.
But it kept it really, really human and personal, and it's more about the small, quiet scenes. And,
Well, it's mostly just about depression.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, you know, because I keep turning this back to me, but I'll even, you know, point it at you and possibly even, you know, Noah Van Sciver himself. You know, like there's an artist talking, you know, at the same time, you know, as you read this book. And I mean, it's all about, you know, like, I know I definitely feel this way a lot. Is like, you're not doing the thing that you're supposed to be doing.
Exactly. Yeah.
In life,
Exactly.
or the things that you are doing don't matter
Right.
at all. So you get into this spiral of like, well, why the hell am I even doing this?
Right.
Then the fact that Lincoln is thinking those same thoughts is just all about politics with him, and just the fact that he is in such debt and he's poor, and he's
not. He hasn't accomplished
right. Yeah, he's
things.
not a successful lawyer. He's not been a successful politician up to this point. He's been unsuccessful with women.
Right.
Like it's just all like this stuff that's building in him. Causing him to just have like this massive nervous breakdown, which is like the bulk of the middle of the comic.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a pretty dark section.
Right. And again, that's all stuff that I think about on a daily basis.
Right.
And I'm sure you've thought that
all
the time.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Again, I'm sure Noah Van Cyber. It's like very much, like I said, it's very much a thing I think that artists go through specifically.
Right.
But I'm sure everybody does, at some point, in some way.
And it's one of those things too that like once you have hindsight and you can see the bigger picture, like in the middle of the book, there's a scene where Lincoln's in Louisville at a
Baseball game.
at a baseball game. No, he's on that riverboat,
Right.
and he sees the slaves that are real happy and like, or they're they're singing and like they're the happiest, most in life enjoying people on the
Right.
boat, and like with us having the hindsight of the things Lincoln accomplished, you're like, okay, he is doing something, like this is all coalescing
Leading up
and
to something, right?
yeah. It's just like when you're in the middle of it, sometimes you can't see what it's, what you're building towards.
Right.
And, so it does have those insights into his life that are, very political, but they're like the more personal
aspects of it there.
Yeah, which is really
the
neat.
whys of, how he eventually, got to do the things that he did.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And what do you think about that whole middle section where he's the hypo? It's called the hypo. It's not the hypodermic needle or anything. It's hypochondriasis or something. Something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I've never heard it pronounced, but is that a real thing?
Hypochondriac,
Right.
which is people who have a mental illness in which they think that they're physically sick, but they're actually perfectly healthy.
But I think this one is like, it's just more like a depression kind of thing.
I don't know. Maybe it is. It's clearly a mental affliction.
Yeah.
Everything that's wrong with him is clearly just due to, the stress and depression that he's going through.
Right.
But I would assume that it is basically just, Lincoln was a hypochondriac. Which is weird because, he also seems fully aware that he's not really sick.
Okay. Yeah.
Because, because even, the first couple pages, he refers to the hypo, which is, I don't know, when I was reading it, I was like, oh, well, maybe that means something different than what I think it means.
Yeah, I thought it was just like some weird depression that manifests itself physically as well, because he's, I don't know, like he's seeing bright lights and things like that.
Right. Well, he's,
Eric is looking at the actual comic as we speak.
Yes. In the first couple pages, he's writing a letter to his first fiancée, and writes along tell your sister I don't want to hear any more about selling out and moving. That gives me the hypo whenever I think of it.
Okay, so it's like a
nervousness,
like anxiety,
yeah. But then later on,
it's
when he's in the full thrall of it. I'm probably not going to pronounce this right, but hypochondriasis.
Hmm.
Yeah. Medical Inquiries and Observations upon the Diseases of the Mind by Dr. Benjamin Rush, from Chapter 3 of the Remedies for Hypochondriasis.
Yeah, which apparently involves throwing someone in, like, scalding water and then freezing water and then,
Right.
and then having them vomit on themselves.
And bloodletting.
And bloodletting's always good. That'll cure what ails you.
Sure.
I went into Walgreens yesterday and got some bloodletting. But yeah, it's dark. I mean, there's some dark stuff in this movie. In this movie. Wow.
That shouldn't be a movie. God damn it.
Oh my God! Sell the rights to the movie, Noah, and become a millionaire.
Yeah.
That's what comics are for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's all they're for.
Yeah. So I think we both liked this.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually really like it. And as like, it's kind of inspirational for me because I really want to tackle something larger, and then seeing this guy do it, who, and clearly he's, more on his game than I am. He's got a lot of books out there, but I'd never seen him do anything on this scale.
Oh, you're talking about Vince Cyber.
Vince Cyber, yeah,
Okay,
not
we're
Lincoln.
talking about Lincoln.
No,
Okay.
no. It inspired me a little bit because, like, I really want to work on something of a, longer,
form.
yeah.
Sure.
And, I've just never taken that jump, and, it's cool to see.
Oh, the only one stopping you is you.
That's right.
And me.
And you, yeah.
And every turn.
And every Magic player in Dayton.
We're all conspiring.
Yeah, they suck my soul away.
Yeah. I don't know if I told you this, but I play Magic now.
Oh no. Oh, that's terrible. Don't even joke about that. Oh.
Because you didn't invite me to dinner the other day.
And you went into Mavericks and played Magic Night?
Yeah.
Because that was a game night, I believe. Man, I feel like there's a couple other things.
The paper dolls.
Yeah, the paper dolls of Mary at the back. That's cool.
Every comic should have paper dolls
yeah,
in the back.
Yeah.
Come on.
The only other book I can remember where there was stuff to cut out like that was there was an old Acme Novelty Library where you could cut out like the robot or something. That was pretty awesome.
There was an absolute Vertigo or Vertigo Winter's Edge or whatever. One of those like annual kind of things that had paper dolls of King Mob and Lord Fanny.
Wow, really?
From the Invisibles.
I don't even remember that. I'm sure I bought that at one point. Was there anything else? We talked about the duel, the depression, Mary. I mean, yeah, it's a lot about his love life too. I mean, we kind of touched on that, but that's a major theme in this book is his interest in previous women and then eventually his fiancée, Mary Todd.
Which is also weird because like there's a lot of rumors about his homosexuality.
Really?
Or possible homosexuality.
Oh, because of like hanging out in the bed with the dude.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know about that specifically, but I can't think of any examples right off the top of my head. But it is something that I've always kind of just seen people mention occasionally is that he possibly may have been
really. I've never heard that.
And also, there's a point in the book where we get to see a little bit of his love of wrestling.
Oh yeah. That is awesome. Who doesn't love wrestling?
I don't.
WrestleMania is happening as we speak.
Yep,
it's happening right now.
All right. Not a fan.
Yeah,
not.
When you were a kid?
Nope.
I was.
We have talked about this numerous times. Whenever we saw The Wrestler. Whenever Matt Brassfield was on the show.
You're right. I was at the flea market this morning with Kathleen, and I saw a poster of the Iron Sheik like on the wall, this one booth, and I was like, oh man, I was like, I should totally buy that for Matt Brassfield, and I went over to look at it, and it was actually autographed by the Iron Sheik.
Oh, even better.
But they had an $85 sticker price on it.
I think flea markets you can barter.
Yeah. But I don't think they would have took $10 for it.
Sure, they would have. So who the fuck else is going to buy an Iron Sheik poster?
It's probably been there for a while, I'd imagine. But there's no certificate of authenticity. It might have been autographed by some other dude. I think towards the end here, this is one of my favorite pages in the whole book. Is this 6-panel grid page where Lincoln is. It's before it's the. I don't know. Should we tell what happens at the very end of the book?
He gets married.
Yeah, he gets married.
Spoiler.
And it's the sort of
to the woman that was in that movie that Spielberg did.
Yeah. He gets married to Sally Field. And but the page where he's like kind of looking in the mirror and this kid like is asking him what he's doing and
hey mister, where are you going?
Yeah. And he says, "Where am I going?" And he kind of stares in the mirror and he says, "To hell, I suppose." And I mean, maybe it's a little artsy or whatever, but I really like that page a whole lot. Like,
yeah, it's a well drawn page. It's well laid out.
It's got a good timing to it. Like a couple panels here where he's adjusting his bow tie or whatever.
Absolutely nothing artsy about that page other than the fact that it is made out of art.
Well, maybe pretentious, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
Because of the mirror and all that. But I mean, he does sort of become Lincoln in the next page. Like, he looks so much more Lincolnish as far as like
Lincoln that we is in our collective unconscious.
And obviously he didn't, he's not going to hell. He became something. Yeah.
Maybe he did go to hell though.
Oh yeah.
We don't know.
Well, I mean, I feel like he's like figuratively saying to hell, like he's doing nothing. He's losing his.
Yes. Or maybe he just foresaw the war that was coming, that he would play a major part in, and consider that to be hell.
Yeah. Or he realized he's getting married.
More of that, because it's a sitcom.
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
He's been reading the Lockhorns. He knows what he's in store for.
The only thing that would make it better if he was just a big old fat guy and Mary Todd was just a hot, sexy babe.
Oh, that would be ironic. Oh, that'd be great.
Or they could just both be big old fat people and talk about food all the time. Mike and Molly.
Oh, Abe and Mary. Yeah.
What?
Abe and Mary.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You ever seen that show? I know you watch shitty sitcoms.
Mike and Molly?
Yeah.
I've seen it a couple times with my mom. She loves it. So don't you dare, sir.
All I'm saying is that I'm a fat guy. And, don't talk about food all of the time.
Right.
Or ever.
Right.
Unless, hey, you hungry? Let's go get something to eat.
Oh, that's hilarious because you're so big. Ah! No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's not funny, right?
No.
Yeah. That's derogatory, maybe even.
Yeah, I don't know about derogatory, but, it's just dumb. It's dumb and lazy, like fat people.
Oh, you make me laugh. You're so jolly. So you liked the book? Eh?
I did like the book.
I was afraid you might not.
It's I have an interest in history.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy reading about historical things occasionally, as long as it's interesting. Again, like you said, if it had been about the political aspect more, I probably would have.
It would have turned us off.
Yeah, I think
both
so.
Of us,
yeah, because I'm not terribly interested in that. I am more interested in the personal aspect of historical things.
Yeah. Yeah, like the humans that were there, not the policies that were there. Right?
Exactly. So I did enjoy it quite a bit.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And also, I had no idea before you picked this book that it was about Lincoln.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that makes it even better, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. I just thought it was, this guy ever made a comic and it's called the Hypo.
Okay. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, I have no idea. Like, I bought this the day it came out, which was like 6 months ago.
Right.
And it's been in this pile of books I've been meaning to read. And I have no idea why I haven't read it up until now.
Because we only read things for the show.
That's probably why. Yeah.
And
we hadn't picked it yet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I have 2 short boxes sitting next to my bed of books I haven't read yet. And that's not even just all the books I haven't read yet. There's a lot more floating around.
I think the only comics I read other than ones that we do for the show are ones that I know we would never do for the show. Like mini comics or just one-offs or whatever. I don't read as many comics as I used to.
I don't either.
What's wrong with us?
I don't know. Like even today, I knew I had to finish this book, and I was just like, I don't wanna.
Oh, really?
I enjoyed it, and I'm glad I did read it. But just that build up to, it's like I gotta read this thing.
Oh, right.
Oh fuck. But again, it rewarded me for doing so.
It came out all right. Yeah.
But even if it had been, Ethan Van Sciver and it was Green Lantern Rebirth, I would have been like, I don't know. There's so many other things I could be doing.
Oh, okay. Well, I get that. I get that. Because, yeah, I mean, working and stuff, full time, and also wanting to try to make art.
Right.
I generally find myself with the amount of free time that I can work on some art or I can read some art.
Right.
And I usually would rather work on some art.
Same here. I come home from work every day, and if I have the time, then I'm mostly going to be drawing something or working on, some sort of art. And then, maybe a half hour before I go to bed, I'll read. And that's,
right.
You can get me 5 pages maybe.
Right.
And then on the weekends, oh, well, I've got 2 whole days off and now I can work on all that. Crap, I got to read this book.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I read a FF the other night before I went to sleep. That was my reading pleasure.
I haven't read anything except the first issue so far.
Okay. I'm 1 issue behind. I think I've read the first 4 or 5. I think it's really good.
I only have the first 4, so I'm also an additional issue behind. Because I gotta wait a month.
Bummer.
Hey, you want to take a break?
Yeah, let's take a break.
The Hypo by Noah Van Sciver or Skyver, and we recommend it.
Seaver? Siver. I think it's Skyver. I would bet $1,000 it's Skyver.
I'm gonna bet $1,000 it's Skyver.
All right, I'll take a bet.
We'll just break even entirely.
That sounds good because neither one of us have that kind of money.
Yep.
Make a hole with a gun perpendicular to the name of this town in a desktop globe. Exit wound in a foreign nation, showing the home of the one this was written for. My apartment looks upside down from there. Water spirals the wrong way out the sink, and her voice is a backwards record. It's like a whirlpool and it never ends. I still haven't walked in the glow of each other's majestic presence. Listen in and hear my words. They're the ones you would think I would say if there was a me for you. All alone at the 64 World's Fair, 80 dolls yelling small girl after all. Who was at the DuPont Pavilion? Why was the bench still warm? Who had been there? Or the time when the storm tangled up to the horn on the pole at the bus depot, and in back of the edge of hearing, these are the words that the voice was repeating. And I are getting older, we still haven't walked in the glow of each other's majestic presence. Listen and hear my words, they're the ones you would think I would say if there was a me for you. When I was driving once I saw this painted on a bridge.
I don't want the world, I just want you a house.
They don't need me here and I know you're there, where the world goes by like the humid air, and it sticks like a broken record. Everything sticks like a broken record. Everything sticks until it goes away, and the truth is we don't know anything. And I are getting older, we still haven't walked in the glow of each other's majestic presence. Listen and hear my words, they're the ones you would think I would say if there was a me for you. And I are getting older, we still haven't walked in the glow of each other's majestic presence. Listen and hear my words, they're the ones you would think I would say if there was a me for you. And I are getting older, we still haven't walked in the glow of each other's majestic presence. Listen and hear my words, they're the wasn't me for you. And are getting older, we still haven't walked in the glow of each other's majestic presence.
Hey, welcome back to Gutter Trash.
Howdy.
Hey, buddy.
Hey to yourself,
Hey, during the break,
buddy.
I was flipping through the Hypo again, and I want to say one last thing about it I forgot to mention. One of my favorite things about it, I think, was how expressionistic the eyes and mouths were on the characters.
Right.
I think that was
They
one
had
of
pretty mouths.
Yeah, they had pretty mouths. I think that was one of my favorite parts too, because it like, for cartoony art like that, it's such a boon when the artist knows how to express like crazy emotions and things with the characters, and I think he did a great job with that. I just wanted to say top notch on that.
There you go.
But that was my final thoughts on the Hypo.
Good. Never speak of this again.
I never will. In fact, let's put it in your metal trash can and burn it. Right
Okay.
now. And this never happened.
I will destroy the internet so that this show never goes out.
Actually, you know what? I just realized this too. Mindy was a huge Lincoln fan. Like, she just was obsessed with Lincoln, read books about him all the time. I just realized tomorrow's her birthday, so I might actually give her my copy so she can enjoy it too.
Why would you do that?
It's because she loves Lincoln. She loves the Lincoln.
It's your ex-girlfriend.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're still sort of friends. Well, we don't really talk to each other
Okay.
much.
Seems weird.
But I
Seems
bet she would
cross
like it.
signals.
What?
There'd be some mixed signals.
I'm friends with some of my exes. It's a Lincoln book. It's not a edible underwear. That would be weird.
I don't know. There's lots of bare-chested men in this.
There
There's
are.
a visit to a brothel.
Oh, yeah. There's barfing.
Yeah.
All sexy things,
Yep.
these.
All things that you and Mindy did together.
Well, except for the brothel. I think you're right. But yeah, good times. So what else is going on?
Not a goddamn thing. I'm just been like Lincoln and just sleeping a lot.
Right?
Refuse to leave my bed and, just having night sweats.
Aw.
Visited Louisville.
Yeah. That's what men do.
Yeah. I got nothing going on.
Nothing.
Just, same o.
Yeah.
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 Just watching movies, and you can read all about them on my blog.
Yeah. Seanborn.net.
Yes.
And there's occasionally some artwork sprinkled in there. Almost every freaking day.
Almost every day.
Yeah.
And probably closer to every day.
Yeah. I think it does lean more towards that latter.
In fact, I would say you'd most likely be able to find art every day and not so much a movie review.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's good. I like that. Yeah.
You?
Me? Nothing too much other than I'm excited for this coming weekend is Space in Columbus. I'm stoked about it's the Small Press Alternative Comic Expo
Space.
in Columbus, Ohio.
Dr. Spaceman.
Mm-hmm. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
I won't be going.
Most people aren't this year, it seems, as it turns out. Which is weird because I think there's a lot of really good cartoonists there this year. I won't go into that list in case I forget one of them.
All right.
But there's like 6 I'm really excited to talk to. So.
Yourself?
Mostly myself. Yeah.
Right. What do we know? Brian John Mitchell will be there.
Brian John Mitchell will be there. I think Pat Kane will be wandering around there. He doesn't have a table, but I think
He'll be at your table.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. Probably. Which will be fun, as long as it's just him.
Right.
Pat. He doesn't listen. He doesn't listen to
He
this.
does not.
He
He has long since not been our only listener.
Right.
Now someone else is our listener. There was that tough transition where we didn't have any listeners.
But we made it through.
Yeah.
We persevered. We both climbed into the bed with Josh Speed and slept until we made our way out. Headway. Could you think me and you could
Share a bed?
Share a bed? Do you
No.
think? I don't think we could.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, I'm not talking about like the size of the bed or anything weird. Just
Right,
like,
yeah.
just you know,
No.
yeah. I just don't. Yeah, I don't
No.
think so.
You and Doogie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've done that. Yeah, yeah, I've done that.
I don't, I honestly don't think I could share a bed with anybody.
Really?
Yeah.
Like just as far as like being comfortable, or
Yeah.
yeah.
Like being dated a girl for 8 years. Still don't feel like I ever got comfortable sharing a bed with her.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I did.
Right.
You know, worked it out, but,
Right.
you know, still just sort of, because, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but, like, you know, I get up a lot sometimes, and yeah, even by myself, I have a trouble, you know, sleeping soundly.
Right. Right.
So I get up a lot and I'll wander around, and, like, you know, when there's someone else in there, especially someone that you care about or are affectionate with, you know, like, I don't want to wake her,
Right.
but, like, you know, I'm a big giant oaf. I stomp around, I knock shit over, especially in the dark.
4 feet piles of Grant Morrison comics knocking onto the
Right.
floor. Bass guitars.
Right, yeah. With the amps on.
Yeah. It's like that scene in the beginning of Back to the Future when
Right.
it blows him out of the room.
Like, you know, but, you know, not too far off. Like, one time I was spending the night at her house, and I got up in the middle of the night, and she didn't have the best circulation in her apartment, and so we had a fan sitting in front of the door, and I just fucking jammed my foot right into the fucking fan and knocked it over, and I think I hit a cat, and the cat went screeching off, you know, down the steps, and
That's the Mike and Molly shit right there. That's hilarious.
that I'm okay with. But if it turned out that I was just going downstairs to get a midnight snack, yeah, then
Right.
fuck you.
Right. Just one loaf of pumpernickel bread full of roast beef. That was just that one thing. Oh man. Oh jeez. I don't know what we were talking about.
Just that we do nothing.
Yeah, we're dumb guys
Yeah.
that do nothing. Oh yes, space. I'm excited about space.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. It's in Columbus. Check it out. Backporchcomics.com if you're interested.
Yeah. It's you know, we've talked about it every year, but it's a show that I don't do well at, apparently, much like every show that I go to.
Oh.
So clearly it must just be me.
Oh, I think I've only ever broke even once, and it was the year I won an award there. Every other year, I think I lose a little bit of money, but it's something I really enjoy, and I look forward to every year. So
I usually look forward just you know, spend the weekend with you, and Pat is usually there, and Brian, of
Right.
course. It's like the only time I ever get to see him. So.
yeah.
But yeah, I won't be doing it this year because, much like Lincoln, I owe prostitutes.
Yeah. You owe prostitutes $2.
Yes.
And you just can't handle that kind of pressure. Well, yeah.
I don't know. Again, if I can find a way to scam a ride up there with someone, I would definitely be up to dropping by for a few hours.
Sweet. Yeah.
But otherwise, I hope you have a good show, and I hope all my friends there have a good show too.
I appreciate that. Good looking out, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
And look forward to hearing tales about it.
Oh, there will be tales. All right. Debauchery.
Yeah.
I think Brian John Mitchell might be brewing some of his concoctions
Oh,
right
nice.
now.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hope.
Of course, if, like, you know, the fire alarm goes off in your hotel room, you're not ever going to know about it.
Yeah. I'll just burn to death. I'll be a husk of a man with a satchel full of mini comics, and that'll be all that happened there.
So this is a thing. We usually, whenever I wind up going out of town, it's with you.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, usually you bring along a Walkman in order to sleep to.
Right.
But you just informed me the other day that you don't have a Walkman anymore.
That was one of the main reasons I was interested in going to the Caesars Creek Flea Market today, because I was like, somebody there will have a cassette Walkman. And although I saw many cassettes there for $1 each, including the Roadhouse soundtrack that features 2 Patrick Swayze songs, I could not find a cassette Walkman, so I'm not sure if I'm going to buy a CD Walkman, like if I'm going to jump right into the 90s, or 80s probably. But yeah, I really want a cassette Walkman, so if anyone knows where I can get one.
I'm pretty sure you can find one.
Like at Meijer or something?
Probably.
Really?
You know, I think.
I will definitely be checking before I go.
Maybe even Best Buy.
Really?
Yeah.
Best
I
Buy cassettes.
mean, you can get needles for record players at Best Buy.
But those are coming back. Tapes are just disappearing.
Oh, that's true. I don't know. You know, maybe in the odd lots.
Yeah. Well, I know. I was like, Caesar's Creek, yeah, right? I mean, like, I thought if anyone, it'd be like a flea market type of place, but haven't.
Have you looked on eBay yet?
No, but I mean, at this point, like, I couldn't get it in time to take it to space.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, my Walkman, which I've had for years, died like a month ago.
Right.
When I was listening to, I bought a brand new tape actually, and I was listening to it and it just died. And like I changed the batteries, I tried all that, and it's just dead.
I don't think I mentioned this here, but I made a mixtape for someone a couple weeks ago.
That is so cool. I love that. I love that about you.
And it's, you know, like you know, I'm a guy who will jump, you know, feet first into, you know, new technology.
Oh yeah.
You know, the current decade. So, you know, I was on board with MP3s and MP3 players, and, you know, but even still, like, I would make mix CDs for people.
Oh yeah.
You know, particularly lady friends of mine.
Chicks love mixed CDs.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
But like, you know, but even up until like, you know, 2001, I was still making mixtapes occasionally.
Oh, I love the mixtape.
Like even just for myself, because my car at the time just had a tape deck.
Right.
You know, and so yeah, like every time I got a new CD, I would like copy the tape so that I could listen to it in my car.
Right. Yeah.
You know, but like I've got this stack of like 20 blank tapes that have been sitting, you know, with all my CDs for like the past 10 years, just collecting dust. You know, and they're all like still wrapped, you know, in plastic. I was like, well, you know, but I don't want to get rid of them because, I mean, they're useless at this point. And so, like, just as a joke, I just put online, you know, hey, I've got this stack of blank tapes. Who wants a mixtape? And, you know, someone responded probably as a joke, but I fucking made them a mixtape.
That's so awesome. And, I mean, like, that's the main reason I want Walkman, too, is, like, it's not that I'm clinging onto this dead technology so much as I've got, like, a couple dozen mixtapes that people have made over the years for me. I used to trade them a lot with my friends. And
I still have mixtapes that people have given me, and I still have some things on tape.
Yeah,
you know,
that yeah, I've got some that I've never seen another version of it, like on CD or vinyl or anything.
I have, but like I'm just like, well, I've already got it on tape.
All right, yeah.
You know, still got working tape decks.
Yeah.
You know, why do I need to do that? Or then I'll just download it illegally if I want another version of it.
Exactly. You bought it once.
Yeah, exactly. It's mine.
Do you remember Singles? Do you remember this?
I do remember singles.
Did you ever have any of those?
Oh, I had a couple.
Yeah. I remember a few that I had. What kind of? We can go back and forth. You name one, I'll name one. We'll try to out-single each other.
I only had like maybe two.
Okay.
And the only one that I can think of, was the single for the MC Hammer song, Dance Machine.
Nice. And it wasn't even like, Preach or Pray or whatever,
Yep.
Too Legit to Quit or whatever. It was Dance Machine. That's awesome. I know I had Prince Bat Dance, and I had another Prince Cream. That was I loved that one.
Well, I have the Prince Batman soundtrack on cassette.
That's great.
That's not a thing I've gotten rid of.
Yeah, it's such a great album. It really is. I love it. What else? I had Right Said Fred's I'm Too Sexy. Single. And I remember the flip side had it in Spanish.
Nice.
Soy 1060 que mi amor. Oh man, I know I had Weird Al. Smells Like Nirvana. I had that one.
Yeah. What was the B-side?
I can't remember.
Right.
I can't remember because I just got it for that song.
Right.
But yeah, I had a ton of them. I just can't really remember. But
Yeah, I had maybe 2, and that is the only one I can think of. And
I just remember another one.
Yeah.
Love and Rockets, So Alive.
nice.
That was a good one.
But even even as my tastes became more refined and started slowly becoming the I don't want to say man, but the person that I am today.
Right.
And then the that shitty era of ages 19 through 22 where we all think we're better than we are.
We're too good for
Right, yeah.
some things.
And I started getting into I wanted to get into collecting vinyl because I was
'Cause that's cool.
pretentious dipshit.
Oh, yeah.
And so I got a stereo with a record player, and so I wanted to start collecting all these bands that I liked. Kept putting out these splits with other bands and just
Oh, yeah.
singles and stuff like that. And it's I want to get those because there'd be rare songs on the B-sides.
Yeah.
So I would start going through catalogs. And I wound up never buying that many of them, but
Right.
a couple. Yeah.
Right.
Jimmy Eat World had 3 or 4 of them that I wanted, and Boy Sets Fire, I think, is some that I bought. Archers of Loaf had it wasn't a split or anything but it was an EP.
Right.
Just things that they only put out on vinyl.
Yeah, little things for their nerdy indie vinyl
Right,
fans.
Yeah. I wanted to be.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the vinyl.
Oh, yeah.
I have a ritual every Tuesday because I'm off on Tuesdays and it's my me day.
Right.
I'm off until 5. I go
So
in
you go to the spa, and you get a facial.
I watch videos of facials, but
okay.
that's completely different. No, I bust out. I have this old record player that's fucking awesome. It's from the 60s. It's this giant square. It looks like a suitcase, except for it's a square.
Right, yeah.
And then you can unsnap it, and it's like a speaker and a unit.
Right.
And you plug it in, and I sit there and I draw and listen to vinyl for a couple hours. I do it every Tuesday, and I love it. It's one of my favorite rituals of the week. I still listen to my records a lot.
That's cool. I don't honestly don't listen to much music anymore, but I've talked about that before. But I know that one album I will be buying when it comes out is the new Black Sabbath album.
Oh.
It comes out in June 11th, something like that.
Yeah.
They're taking pre-orders for it now. And so I went to the website where they're selling them, and they had the deluxe edition, limited edition for $80.
What?
And I was I was at the point to where I was hovering over the checkout button.
Wow.
That's how much of a Black Sabbath fan I am. Especially it's the original lineup, their first album in
Right.
30 some years. I decided against it, but it comes with it's the vinyl copy of the album. I think it comes with a CD as well,
Okay.
the 2-disc version of it, as well as a code for digital download,
Right.
and a DVD, and handwritten lyrics and liner notes and some other stuff
Wow.
Yeah.
Handwritten by who?
by the band.
Really?
Yeah.
You mean a scan of...
I'm sure it's just
Not, okay, yeah.
yeah.
But still,
Right.
that's kind of neat.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, $80. Wow.
Yeah.
So did you pre-order a regular version?
I'm gonna pre-order a regular version.
A
Yeah.
vinyl one, or
Just the CD.
because don't you have all the original ones on vinyl? Don't you?
I think I have.
I know you got Paranoid.
I have Paranoid. I have Black Sabbath. I think I have Volume 4, and I think I have the other one.
Master of Reality.
Master of Reality.
Yeah.
And I think I even have Mob Rules
Okay. Well,
and maybe Heaven and Hell. But I don't have the the middle Aussie 4.
Oh, yeah.
Sabotage, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, Technical Ecstasy, and
I couldn't tell you the other one. Soul for Rock and Roll? No, that's like a best
that's
of.
the best of hot buttered fuck shits. Damn it! Why can't I do it? This is gonna piss me off.
Invisible Touch. Is that it?
I will not be happy until I think of this.
Fair Warning? No.
1984.
Oh. Yeah. Well, we'll come back to that. The listener, if they know, be the first email in and win a no prize.
There you go. So I guess I do have quite a bit of Sabbath stuff on vinyl, so maybe I should get it on vinyl.
Yeah, just to go with it. Your record player still works, right?
Yeah. As far as I know. So I've been getting the new Manor Astro Man releases
on vinyl.
On vinyl,
nice.
Yeah. They're a band that I enjoy. They do the theme song to our show.
Yeah, is that why they send you the free vinyl because of their appreciation on that?
Yeah, they send them with lawsuits and ceases and desists.
We know they're joking, so we just keep going on.
But no, yeah, they I don't think they ever broke up, but they just in 2000 just stopped doing anything.
Okay.
And then would occasionally do a show once a year or something like that.
Right.
But then last year, mid 2012, they started recording new stuff, and they started releasing singles.
Wow.
Of the new stuff, and so they released one, and obviously it's I think 2 or 3 songs total per thing, one song on one side and 2 songs on the other. We've done it twice already, and then they're releasing a third one at the end of April, which is going to be their final one before they put out a whole new album.
Wow, that's awesome.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, and the new stuff is really good too. But yeah, the limited edition clear vinyl. Yeah. Only 200 pressed.
Oh, marble packaging, and it comes with the armband and everything.
Yeah.
I
don't know how we got onto this. They have tapes.
Yeah, tapes.
Space.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? How are you going to get to sleep?
I might actually just take that suitcase of a record player up there. I think this one does actually, because I've got 2 record players. I got that one and an actual Rotel unit, and that one the Rotel is broken where the arm won't auto return, but I think my other one does. So at least I wouldn't grind my record all night long.
Right.
If I fall asleep.
That's what she said.
Wow.
I'm going to grind my record all night long until she falls asleep.
Nice. Spare the needle, huh?
Yeah. Scratch.
What? But yeah, other than space, that's pretty much all I've got going on.
Yeah.
Nothing too exciting.
Seen anything good recently?
What did I watch? Did I watch a good movie? I watched the Silver Surfer cartoon from the 90s. I watched the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, I asked if you said anything good.
This is the tale of Norrin Rad and Galactus, sir. This is good stuff. I haven't watched any movies at all. I tried to watch Lincoln and I fell asleep. But
Yeah.
that's the only movie I've attempted to watch.
Yeah. I've, of course, been watching multiple movies and been trying to catch up on my TV shows so that nobody just goes out and spoils them for me the next day.
Right.
I've been doing okay with that. But like I said, you can go to my blog, seanborn.net, and read about most of that.
Was there any one standout movie you've seen that is recommended?
Standout, like amazingly good.
Yeah.
The
Scream, Blackula Scream.
That was pretty great.
We did. Yeah, that's another movie. We both watched that last night.
That was pretty great. It does kind of make me want to watch the first one.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Oh, then you're gonna love my next movie pick. No.
I watched a documentary called Shut Up Little Man, which was really good.
Oh yeah.
It's about some found audio sort of thing. Two guys recorded their neighbors who were they would constantly fight. And then the recordings sort of just started getting passed around through the underground with tapes.
Wow. See? See?
Yeah. And it just sort of became like this pre-internet, sensation,
Wow.
So that was very interesting. Honestly, like the best things I've been watching lately are actually been the TV programs. Like Doctor Who has returned. So that's been good, of course. The new Hannibal series started. I enjoyed that.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah. The Walking Dead ended, and I enjoyed it. I don't get what the hell the rest of the internet's problem is, but all right.
Oh, like they're upset with it?
Yeah, people hate it. People fucking hate that show, but people fucking love
I
that
know,
show.
right? They're showering it with money, though.
Yeah.
For the hatred that is out there. I can't tell you how many Walking Dead trades we sell a week at Mavericks.
Right.
It's fucking insane.
I just ordered the newest one.
Yeah?
Newest
18, I think.
18 is
Yeah.
coming out. June, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least it's in the June solicitations.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Read any other comics or anything like that?
I'm such a loser. No, I know. I haven't actually. I read that issue of FF, and I read some of the like history of Dayton. I was reading about that. But,
That's unfortunate.
I'm enjoying it. But, yeah, mostly just been hanging out.
Yeah.
Hanging out,
That's
doing
cool.
some
That's
drawing, doing some working.
cool. Yeah. I read a couple comics here and there. Read newest issue of Luther Strode.
Oh yeah, that looks so good. The new series too.
It's really good.
Because we read the
Trade.
original
First, yeah.
What's the new one called? It's not Strange Talent. It's
The
Legend of.
Legend of,
Yeah, that looks really good.
Yeah. Read a couple issues of Hawk Guy.
Mm-hmm.
Some X-Mans here and there. Uncanny and All News. That's about it.
Yeah. Comics,
Comics.
the good stuff.
Yep.
We keep selling out of Uncanny X-Men. People love that new series.
It's pretty good. I've really enjoyed it.
It's Bacalo and Bendis?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bendis is busy.
Yeah, he is. He's always been busy.
Yeah, he does a lot.
He basically he switched from Avengers everything to X-Men everything.
Yeah. Kind of like on a dime. He
Yeah.
just kind
And still rolling with Ultimate Spider-Man and then his own stuff too.
wow.
Powers, Scarlet.
Powers Bureau, yeah.
Brilliant.
Does he do Age of Ultron? Is that him?
He is doing Age of Ultron.
What the hell, man? How does he do that?
I guess he doesn't sleep.
Yeah. He doesn't do a lot else, I guess. Good for him.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I saw this week that the new Casanova series got announced
Oh, cool.
for sometime late this year, early next year.
Nice.
It's going to have by Fraction and Fabio Moon, and then backup stories by Michael Chabon and Gabriel Bond.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So does that mean a Fraction might not be doing all of his Marvel books then, like later in the year?
I don't know. He's doing FF, Fantastic Four, Hawkeye. I think that's about it. So, yeah, maybe he's still doing them all.
Yeah. I know FF, at least at our store, doesn't sell great. Like every issue sells a little bit less than the previous.
That is a terrible thing.
Yeah. It's a really good book, too.
Yeah, it's a really good book, and Mike Allred is the greatest.
Isn't he, though?
Yeah.
Even though he's what is he, Mormon?
I don't know what he is. I
Who knows?
guess he's a Mormon.
Who cares, right?
I don't
As
care.
long- if he draws like that, he can be a Satanist or a Mormon or whatever.
Don't care, exactly. He is great.
He could even be a Scientologist.
Yeah. And you know what? His book should be selling more since his house got robbed like a month ago.
Isn't that terrible?
Yeah.
That happened to actually one of our customers. Someone set their apartment complex on fire, and then when they evacuated the entire complex, people went in, the people who set the fire, and looted like all the TVs and video game systems from the entire complex.
That's fucked.
This was like last week. Yeah.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, people are scum.
I know, and I was really bummed because they're really, I actually went to high school with this guy, and I love the guy, and he was so excited he had got pay-per-view WrestleMania for tonight, and like now he doesn't even have a TV,
Right.
and I was like, man,
that sucks.
yeah, people can suck when they want to.
Yep. And they usually want to.
They do want to, yeah, they like that.
All right, I'm running out of battery power here, so let us both physically and on the computer. So let us tell me what movie I'm going to watch.
We're going to watch
at some point,
in honor of my friend who had this house robbed. We're going to watch the first WrestleMania.
Me too.
No, I'm just kidding. Let's watch Cosmopolis.
Ooh.
It might be two vetoes in one show.
I might.
Really?
Yeah.
You know David Cronenberg, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. If you want to veto, I've got another one in mind.
I may veto this.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised, though. What was it?
I just do not want to see it, and I've only heard bad things about it.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got another one in mind. If you want to veto it.
Right.
Are you using your second veto?
I'm using my first veto.
Okay. Well, speaking of Mike Allred and his zany religion, let's watch The Master.
Okay. I'm
more on board with that.
I'm more on board with that. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay then.
The Master.
The Masturbator. No, that's just the life story of me.
We're gonna have so many horrible masturbation jokes next week.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
We'll be on fire.
Oh,
like
yeah.
our dicks.
Yeah.
From constant masturbation.
How are we gonna do that? Because I won't be in.
Maybe there'll be another skip week. I don't know.
Or maybe Monday night if you. I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll find out what happens.
We'll figure out. Yeah.
Cool.
Probably not. Probably have to do a skip week.
Okay. So this might
This
be
is all stuff that could be talked about off air.
Yeah. Well, as the loyal listener, I'm just letting them know they might have to wait a while.
You might get a skip week, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Maybe I'll put up something in between just to satiate you fucks.
Yeah. Do that for them. Thanks, everybody.
Goodbye. Thank you for listening to Gutter Trash. You can subscribe to the show from guttertrash.net or from iTunes and leave us a review. Visit guttertrash.net for email information, links to our Facebook and Twitter pages, and for other podcasts and websites in the Gutter Trash Network. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.